Hey, he's getting ready to disconnect the shore power and get us going here. Okay, well, captain's desk over here, and I do have to turn some things on here, so I just want to make sure that I've got my instruments on and my VHF radio, and it's not night, so I'm not going to need my lights yet, but I also have some extra bit and my autopilot hooked up to the windlass, and turn our autopilot on, and then we can just turn all of our outlets and our AC power and our shore power and our battery charger off. All right, well, here we go out for another day of sea trials. So we're making our little Hunter 290 out on the bay. We're going to get the sails up just for short sail. But we have our mermaid Poochie with us. I won't lift her up. She's not happy about being in her life jacket over there in the cockpit, but we'll see if we can get her going. So got the windy hat on. It looks like we got a nice little breeze. So once we get out into the bay a little bit here, we'll pop out our Genoa up here, full of jib sheets. So subscribe, comment, like, and we're going to be doing more sailing on the bay. We got the keyboards. We're going to be working on off the grid computing, things of that nature. Get ready to head down south. So that's why we're doing all these bay trials, because we're going to visit both day to head down south. Once it starts getting cold here in November, we're just going to keep sailing south until we can wear shorts again. So okay, so we're waiting for these guys to get off the fuel dock so we can fuel up. So got like a 50 cal machine gun on the front, one on the back. So guys are it's a business over there. So it's kind of circle. Wait for somebody to get off the dock. Anyway, we don't want to pitch in there. We're gonna get some gas here. And fill up on waters before we head out on the bay. It's sunny, thirsty day. Angle over there so you can see the jib sheet over there. Here's our winch right here. Winching this jib sheet out. And we've got our other line. This is the one we need to pull it in. We're ready to pull it in. Got another little line. Let that go. It looks like you're gonna have to follow up just a little bit. So we hit my autopilot. We're gonna get on right there. There we go. All right. Getting our jib sheet out there for me. Nice. Now, let's throttle back the engine. We don't even need our main salt. There we go. So let's turn the engine off now. Our autopilot's maintaining our course, so we've got our jib sheet out. We're good to go. And blowing into the jib, that's where most of our power comes from anyway. It's from up here in our jib. And we've actually got a Genoa, so it's a bit better. Yeah. And then we'll just sail up the channel here. And then once we get up here, then we'll tack and come back and we'll head back to the slip. That looks like just a beautiful day. So 1.6 is the channel that we listen to is rolling down the bay. So that's a VHF radio. And all boats, as they're in the bay, should be listening to channel 16. And there'll be Coast Guard announcements, boats hailing other boats, and then they'll tell them to move to another channel. We have the equivalent of Auto Club. It's called US Boat. And then they'll come tow us, and we can just call them up if we have any issues or anything like that. But we're fully under sail. Just our jib here. Got about 4.5 knots over land. So that's like the blue okay. Seal sleeping over here in this seal condo. Rolling by everything. Seal. Tripping up the sails a bit. So there's some pieces of fabric up there called tills. And if you look up there, we'll expand it back up to the bottom of the sail on both sides. They'll got good airflow. The coast guard take the long thing. On the one thing going. Another sailboat, always good for them to weigh. Get past other boats, make sure they get past port to port, if at all possible. We're under sail, so we have the right of way, but you know, some boats like the big ferry that went by earlier, they're bigger than us, so we let them go. So kind of good 4 knots. So we haven't even put out the mainsail yet because we're just covering. Just a mellow sail. You don't want to heel too much. So here we are. We're getting ready to do attack here. So we're turning up wind here. Coming around. We need to turn up a little bit more. So we're going to get almost straight into the wind here. And then as we get in, so the wind is coming straight this way. And as we do that, we're going to trim our port jib sheet over here. Let's see, we're getting a little more speed off of that. Almost into the wind. So now we're going to attack. We're just going to come across the wind here. So we're going to hit 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. So that's 120 degrees. Put this guy on. You can see our jib's bringing us around now. And then as soon as we get over here, like this, we're going to let this guy go. We're going to pull this guy in here. There we go. There we go. We'll wrap this around. Get her in right there. Off we go here in the other direction. Oh, here comes one of those moment security boats and everything. Going around. Just waving to him. Just came over on this side. You didn't see him here, but there's a bunch of them buzzing by on the other side over here. So that's a little crazy. But, anyway, now we're heading back and we just turned all the way around. We used our autopilot to do the turn for us. And we went and pulled our sheets, trimmed everything in, and just single-handed that turn right there. Got this guy and another one of those security guys. And these guys are just hauling ass up and down there all day. And there's just a whole bunch of guys on the boat because they got machine guns on them. This guy's booking. Look at him right here. There he goes. These guys are kicking. And that can't be, you know, if you're in that boat, man, going like this, that can't be a fun ride. I'm telling you. This is the fun ride. This is the e-ticket. Okay. Here comes another one right here. Coming back this way. More security. Not going to pull us over. There's not anything that's coming out to run us down. They're, okay, looks like all clear up ahead, so we'll just keep going. Okay, so here come the other guys right here. They go coming back. Guess they went up to the turnaround. Or is that a different one? I think that's a different one. They're just passing each other. I mean, they're just zipping up and down the channel here all day long. And the other day, one of them came over here and started spinning around by our portable sailboat, doing his. So, anyway, now they got planes flying over here. So we're being watched. All right, goes another one. Rolling back. Zoom, zoom. Yep. Here they go again. Boats full of soldiers running up and down. There's your tax dollars. Boats full of soldiers up and down this little channel. Pretty much me, and there's another guy over there. And there's a motorboat over there. Another sailboat, but that's about it. So, yes, I feel safe. Sure is a pretty day to say. So, either way. What a beautiful day. It's the perfect amount of wind. It's just taking a nice slow cruise. But one of the things we really like about this boat, that we call it the TARDIS, because it's bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. So long, huge. You'll see some of it once we start working on it. But, uh, my wife, she's in charge of the officer of cuteness because the boat has to be looking good. We can't be rolling around in a shabby looking boat. So she's taking care of getting a whole bunch of, we're getting new seat cushions down, and all kinds of neat things. We'll get some tiki torches, solar power. And then soon we're going to have those solar panels in. So I'm going to, as soon as we get back,
get to the dock, I'm gonna order those babies up. Put them up here, then in the other area, that comes out. Then start with about 300 wood to it. That's not here. We'll have fun looking at all that. The idea is that we can run it totally off the grid, run our computers, run our refrigerators, and any other electronics, charge our phones, run some fans if it gets hot. And then it doesn't, we can run that 24/7. But I think we're going to get probably a wind generator to a little bit of wind as well. But run those through controllers, and then we'll run those into our batteries. Of course, the alternator will charge them. And we've got a generator that'll do the 110, then plug into the shore power port there, and so we can also charge it up that way and app to it, which comes from where we can fire up the gas generator, charge them that way. So, anyway, we're getting ready to go off the grid.
Okay, so this thing that's coming by us over here in the water, seriously, kind of here, I can give you a little. No, it's not going to let me zoom that in, but it's kind of a. They take them on seal tours to go see the seals on the seal condos we just went by, and it's a bus that they load these people up, and then they drive them through the bay on the bus. See that over there? Bunch of people packed in there. Oh my gosh, craziness! It's the seal bus, and you see them driving down the road. And it's just this huge, monstrous vehicle with a big propeller sticking out the back, and they just drive in the water, go across the bay, go over and see the seals over at the fish dock. Okay, so we're getting ready to bring her in here, and we look out, said we got a sailboat. Okay, it's off starboard there. We're gonna fall off just a little bit here, a couple degrees on the autopilot there, and we're coming into the harbor here, so we're losing our wind a lot. You can look at the texture on the water and how smooth that's getting. And if you look, you can see patches of wind here and there. There might be a little bit coming up here, so we might be able to make it around the corner of the fairway up here. We'll see in just a minute, and we'll keep this other sailboat. No, he's way on the other side of the channel, so we're all good to go there. And it looks like our wind is changing direction here. So we want to keep going here. Well, no, looks like it just changed direction for a second. So sometimes it'll do that. And we're getting about a half a knot, so I don't know. We're getting down there pretty slow. But I do have the engine on, and so when you've got your diesel and you're turning your diesel on, you probably want to let it warm up about 5 minutes before you engage it. And other important thing too is as you're using your throttle and you're going forward and back, right? Don't go forward to reverse, go forward and then stop first and then go back when you're going back. So those are a couple of things from the diesel. And then also we just filled up over here at the fuel dock, and so we want to get some fuel treatment as well. So that'll help keep your diesel places where gasoline goes and things like that, help keep your diesel engine clean as well. Check out skipperscott.com and analogscott.substack.com currently, and we'll get another publication going over there as well. But coming just about to the end of this, let's see if we can make this corner. Maybe if we'll go downwind. Here, it looks like we're picking up a little wind again around this corner. And I've got the engine warming up. We still haven't cut the engine in yet to see how far we can sail it here. Going past the fuel dock, and I see we got a motor up here on our right, but as a sail and being under sail and not under motor, we've got the right of way. And I can see that guy right over there. So coming up to the fairway here, but we picked up about a half a knot or two. So we do have a little bit of wind coming. Look up there. It looks like we've got the wind just coming straight this way. And here I'll let her sail out just a little bit more. And that'll give us a little more energy. Just trying to get that last little bit of wind around this corner. Okay, let's get a turn going here. Probably 30, 40, 50, maybe 50 degrees. Let's see how that works. And our wind's going to start coming from behind us now because it was coming right from the side. But they're kind of turning in, so we're going to have to let out more sail. And it feels on deck like you got less wind because you're going along with the wind as well. We've still got a good 3 knots here. I'm going to let my jib out here just a little bit and see if I could just squeeze a little bit more out of it. But if not, you can always pop the engine in. Oh yeah, got a little wind here.
And I think we're going the right direction. Picking up speed a little bit. I mean, really, we're not going very fast at all. So, but we were averaging about 5 knots out in the bay, just with our jib out. If we and our hull speed, I think, is about 6 knots, and then we've actually had it up to about 9, just almost 10 knots on a good brisk morning. Had the sails trimmed just right, and you don't want it heeling over too much as you're trimming your sails and doing things like that, because you'll lose a lot of speed that way, and you'll lose a lot of momentum.
Alrighty, well, we made it back safe and sound, and here we are. I actually made it all the way just in on wind power, right into the slip, no motor. Had the motor as backup, but pretty proud of myself. So, sailing skills getting better by the day. But subscribe, like, comment. We're going to have more sailing and more boaty computing, and we'll be working on some diesel engines and lots of tools and greasy stuff and fun stuff and sailing stuff and animals and popo in the bay. So anyway, peace and much love. Your Papa.